What is the exact difference between a person who begs for survival and a billionaire who commands an empire? It's not money, and it's definitely not luck. It really comes down to one single thing: your mindset. Napoleon Hill once famously said, "What you think about, you become." But if that's true, why do so many people struggle to succeed? Do they fail to think about their future, or do they just fail to see their own hidden potential? Today, I want to share a powerful story about a railway beggar who turned his entire life around and became a wealthy trader. He didn't find a pot of gold, he just unlocked a hidden law of the universe. Stick with me until the end of this video, because the way you view value and money is about to change forever. Now imagine a busy, chaotic railway station. Every single day, a beggar sat there, holding out his hand, just trying to survive on whatever spare change passengers threw his way. He saw himself as a victim, someone completely helpless. One afternoon, a sharp, well-dressed businessman in an expensive suit stepped onto the platform. The beggar's eyes lit up. He thought, "This man must be incredibly rich. If I ask him for money, he'll surely give me a fortune." He walked right up to him and stretched out his hand. But instead of reaching into his wallet, the businessman stopped, looked the beggar dead in the eye, and asked a brutal question. "Do you always just take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar was completely startled. He had never been asked something like that before. Confused and a bit embarrassed, he said, "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I survive on charity. I have absolutely nothing to give." The businessman smiled slightly and said, "If you truly believe you have nothing to give, then you also have no right to ask for anything. See, I'm a businessman. I believe in exchange. If you can offer me something, I can give you something in return. But if you have nothing, I have nothing for you either." And with that, he boarded his train and left. The beggar stood there on the platform, totally frozen. Those words kept replaying in his head like an echo. He realized the man wasn't just being rude, he was speaking a deep truth. People never gave him much money because he offered them absolutely zero value in return. He lay awake that night, staring at the sky, realizing a fundamental law. If you want to receive, you must first give. 2 days went by, and he didn't beg at all. He was too busy looking for a solution. On the third day, he noticed a patch of vibrant wildflowers blooming right near the train tracks. Suddenly, an idea clicked. What if, instead of just taking, he offered something beautiful in return? What if he gave people a flower every time they gave him a coin? So he gathered a handful of flowers and went back to his spot. The next time someone handed him a coin, he smiled warmly and handed them a flower. The reaction was incredible. People didn't just look at him with pity anymore. They smiled back, thanked him, and started giving him even more generously. He noticed a clear pattern. As long as he had flowers to give, his donations multiplied. A few weeks later, he spotted the same businessman sitting by a train window. Excited and proud, the beggar rushed over and said, "Sir, today I actually have something to give you. If you give me money, I will give you value in return." The businessman smiled, handed him a large bill, and took a few flowers. He looked at him and said, "You've finally understood the value of exchange. Today you are no longer a beggar. You have become a businessman." That one sentence completely rewired the beggar's mind. He thought, "I am not a beggar. I am a trader. People aren't giving me charity. They are paying for a product." That very day, he packed up his things, walked out of that station, and never begged again. Fast forward 6 months later. 2 sharply dressed men in elegant suits met on that exact same railway platform. They shook hands, but one of them looked at the other with a puzzled expression and asked,
"Excuse me, do I know you from somewhere?" The other man smiled and said, "Yes, we've met twice before, right here on this platform. 6 months ago, you refused to give me money, and then later you bought flowers from me. Today, I run a highly successful commercial flower business, and I'm traveling to expand my company even further." The businessman was totally astonished. "That is incredible. What truly changed you?" The flower entrepreneur smiled and replied, "You taught me that we only receive when we give. I realized I was never actually a beggar. The potential to be successful was inside me all along. I just had to change the way I saw myself." They shook hands again, this time not as a giver and a taker, but as complete equals. Your life is completely shaped by how you view yourself. If you believe you are small, weak, or limited, you will stay exactly where you are. But the moment you recognize your inner potential and start focusing on what value you can give to the world, your reality shifts. Don't limit yourself. See yourself as strong, capable, and valuable. If you're ready to rewrite your financial destiny and master the mindset of true success. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and leave a comment below, sharing the biggest lesson you took away from this story today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.